My guest today is Santi Godfrid, the creator of the successful Celicioso cafes, who was born in Barcelona but now divides his time between Marbella and Madrid. After discovering that he's a celiac back in 2009, he opened the first gluten-free bakery and cafe in Spain. We talk about his life and work, but also a bit about his friendship with Novak Djokovic, how COVID affected and changed his business, and a lot more.
It's a fun thing to have. You're in your cafe, you're having coffee all day, but that's like what people see, right? But in the end, there's a lot of...
They don't see the back end.
The lawyers, the banks, the lawsuits, you have to take it easy, because I was very ambitious at first and was doing so well, and I was expected to, I was traveling to, Portugal, France, the States, Kuwait, Dubai, with people wanted a franchise to this, and at the same time I had to run these shops and open the new ones, and I don't have partners, so it was really, really stressful at a point. It's all about how you manage it, I guess. So COVID did help a little bit with that, because then we had to close down, and it hasn't been fun, but it's been a little more calm.
But you are also close friends with Novak.
Yeah.
Because he's been to your cafe
here.
He's
been many times to the cafe. I'm very close with his family also.
Hello, do you want to come in? You want to say something?
She's
Hello.
She's not a vegan, I'll tell you.
Surely you have some goals that you see yourself. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or you haven't thought about it yet?
No, I thought about it my whole life.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Santi.
How are you, Tene? Good.
How are you? I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time off.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Nice to have you here. So, everyone has seen you around Marbella. You're in Celicioso, you're here, there, everywhere, but don't really know you. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Were you raised in Marbella? Tell me a little bit.
Well, I was actually born in Barcelona, and then I moved to Madrid before I was a year old. So I've been raised in Madrid my whole
Madrileño.
Life. Madrileño, yeah, you could say that, yeah, more than Barcelona. And then I've been coming to Marbella with my family for vacation since I was a baby, I guess, or 1-2 years old. Every summer, and always close to Puente Romano. We used to have an apartment here in the Marina. And yeah, that was already 35 years ago, I guess. And then I went to university in Miami.
What did you study?
I studied entrepreneurship, business, and then I did a little minor in French and sports administration. Then I had to come back to Madrid. That was in 2009. After university, I finished 2008, and then I stayed for a year there. And then that's when I discovered, within 6 months of being in Madrid, that I'm celiac. I had a gluten intolerance, and I was getting sick. I didn't really know what it was. It was not as well known as it is now, and it was not really diagnosed as easily before, and there was really nowhere to go. So then once I found out, I was working in Madrid and stuff. I didn't really like that too much also, so I started seeing that there was a lot of celiacs more and more. I had never heard of it, but then it was everybody's, my cousin, So then I came up with the idea of Celicioso. We opened that, the first one in Madrid, August 1st, 2012. It was a very small, so that's 12 years ago almost. Shit, yeah. Almost 11 and a half, yeah. It was a very small bakery, right in the center by Gran Via, in Calle Hortaleza, number 3. And it was just really me there with one baker. It was mainly kind of like a Starbucks, 100% gluten-free, all takeaway initially. And we did bread and then sweets.
Okay.
So that's how we started. And then slowly, we started growing, and we were, I think, the first, pretty sure, 100% gluten-free place in Spain.
Wow.
Yeah. And
but I'm sure soon people started copying, no?
Yeah,
Once they saw there's a queue.
there was a queue in the one shop, and then it went well. Then we expanded a little bit in the shop, and we started serving places to sit, tables, and in dining a little bit. And then 2015, so 3 years after, I think it was July 1st or 2nd, we opened the one in Puente Romano. This was different because this one was a much bigger place, and also the weather here is different, and I had a kitchen, which I didn't have any other place. So we started also doing foods. I don't like to call it a restaurant, but cafe
almost foods.
Yeah, cafe food, juices, salads,
Lunch, breakfast.
pastas, everything usually that contains gluten, all for celiacs, but not really for celiacs, for also people that want to do gluten-free diet, a lot of athletes. And so that was the second one here. And then I was hopping between Madrid and Marbella. And then I opened close to this one. I think it was 2016, the third one. And that was the only U hotel in Madrid, the first one in Calle Barquillo. Also like this concept, because I also had a kitchen and whatever. And then after that, within like 3 more years, so up to like 2018, we opened Barcelona, we opened Corte Inglés Callao in Madrid, in the Gourmet place. We opened in the Retiro Park in the corner of Madrid. We opened in Malaga. We opened in Barcelona, I just said. We opened in Novo Ibiza for a few summers.
It didn't stop.
No, it was pretty hectic. And then COVID hit. And just before COVID, we built a very big central bakery to make everything we make. And then we opened in like December, and then COVID hit in like March, I think it was. So that was a bit tricky. And then since COVID, which was, very tough for everybody, we had to close down a couple shops. We had to restructure the company a little bit. We had to, unfortunately fire a lot of people. And then we've been recovering since, and that brings us to now.
Wow, crazy. Yeah. But now are you still living part-time in Madrid or part-time here, or where are you based, like, mostly?
I was based in Madrid always, up to like COVID. Even when I had this shop, I was still based in Madrid because I had like 6 shops in Madrid or 7, and it made sense. Then COVID hit and I spent it here.
The lockdown.
Yeah. And then, the lockdown is much easier.
Yeah, it was better here, wasn't it?
So I actually I've been here since since COVID. I mean, apart from like one of the winters I was there more, I'm less and less in Madrid because Marbella is magical, I guess.
But how do you manage when you have more business in Madrid? How do you manage to live here, or do you go back and forth a lot?
No, I go back and forth. Is it? Yeah, it's tricky, but because I did close a bunch of shops, we only have now 4 in Madrid and the bakery. I mean, obviously I'm on the phone all day, which
and Zoom and all of that online stuff helps, I guess.
Online, and I have, my office is there and whatever. To be honest, I'm not much of an office guy, so I never have been. I'm more like always
running around
in the shop and running around. I'm not,
on the go.
So I have people for this, thank God, that help me, and they're very good. I do go. I mean, I should be going every week, and to be honest, I've been going like probably every like 2-3 weeks now, for like 2-3 days. And the shops that we have there, they're also pretty old, so like they're more or less running. And then here we're doing a lot of changes, and now, I prefer to be here. So for now, I've been more here now that it's been more calm.
Good. Yeah. So you get to relax.
It's more relaxing. The weather.
But you went to study entrepreneurship and all that. So you already had this kind of urge to be a businessman, or who did you want to be when you were small?
Well,
Or what did you go and study? What did you want to be? Because obviously you didn't know you're going to be a cafe owner and all of that.
Well, I guess my dad is, he's a businessman. So I was born with all that and always helping him as a kid, even I think since I was like maybe, 5, 6, 7 years old. He had these lighting shops. So I was always like putting stickers on things. And, I learned the whole process and also, living with him and obviously. And I thought it was pretty cool, but I was really going to be a tennis player. And I was playing, I want to say professional because I quit very young when I was 14, but up to then I didn't even go to school for like a year or 2. And then I ended up quitting tennis. So I guess I wanted to be a tennis player. That's the answer. But then that was very tough, not easy. And, then I finished my studies, and then I went to, I studied entrepreneurship because I didn't have, I guess that's what I lived as a kid. And I think I was lucky that they diagnosed me with the celiac thing, because then that's what gave me the opportunity to think about this concept that was initially, a very good idea. And I mean, I think it still is, to help also people with this problem. And we made it pretty cool, I think. So
yeah, it's really cool.
So I'm happy. So I guess I wanted to be a tennis player, and now I'm
So why did you quit? What happened with the tennis?
Oh, well, it was very difficult. I was training a lot. In the end, it was a lot of pressure. Also, my year was 1986. It was a very complicated year because it was Rafa Nadal in Spain and it was like the best year of players ever. And I was falling a little bit behind, also physically. Ooh.
Hello. Don't worry.
Those are my dogs. So yeah, I guess I had a little shoulder injury, you know, like everybody I guess does, but.
And teenage years, I mean, 14
and then teenager, I was coming up, and it was a lot, very, very sacrificed. I was training like 7 hours every day as a kid. It was not easy, you know?
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I just stopped liking it so much. And I mean, now I play often and I love it, but it's as a hobby, you know?
Yeah, but I think that's what happens sometimes, even like as little kids, or we think like, okay, I want to be a millionaire, billionaire, but do you know what it takes to be one?
Oh.
Do you want to get up 4 a.m. every day? You want to have 500 people working for you? Like, we don't think how much work it takes.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of
as
risk.
an athlete as well, you just train every day, and it's like.
And you never know, because maybe you train your whole life and you never make it.
Yeah.
Or you make it, but you're like not in tennis, like not top 100, which is, there's so many players, and you have to invest, you lose money actually. So, and you sacrifice everything.
And then you get an injury.
And then
even if you're good.
Injury, and then, it's 1 out of like a million to make it. Yeah, it's tough.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's crazy.
But you are also close friends with Novak.
Yeah.
Because he's been to your cafe.
Yeah,
here.
He's been many times to the cafe. I'm very close with his family also. His brother Marco, he also lives in Marbella. Also the tennis. Also Novak was like probably the first athlete. He, before becoming like number one, he had this book out in Spanish. It's like de un campeón, I think it is, or the secret of a champion. And where he talks a lot about his gluten-free diet, how it helped him with a lot of things. And he's really not celiac 100%, but he does do the diet very strictly. He's been, like a pioneer for this. Like, this is like probably 12 years ago that he started doing this, or 13, even before Celi. So then when I put up Celi, we got closer together. And, he's been to actually all of my shops. He's been very supportive. And, he's obviously after that, he became number one and now like the best tennis player in history, probably. Well, for sure. And and he also spends a lot of time in Marbella. So.
And do you play with him? Do you play tennis against him?
He's not good enough for me. No, of course.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
I play ping pong and paddle more than that.
But so how do you navigate all this stress that obviously comes with, when you were building up the business, then COVID comes, then, there's a million problems in a cafe, I can imagine. Yeah. So how do you navigate stress? What do you use? What are your techniques? I don't know. Do you meditate? Is it sports?
Medication. No, I'm joking. It's a joke.
Could be. You never know.
At some point I did.
For sure.
Actually, at some point I had to. Because I was very stressed and I was running around a lot. And the problem, there's always problems with everything, but it's fun, but it's stressful, and there's a lot of laws and taxes and things behind everything that people don't realize, and construction and delays, and then COVID, which was a killer. You have to take it easy, because I was very ambitious at first and was doing so well. And, I was expected to, I was traveling to, Portugal, France, the States, Kuwait, Dubai, with people wanted a franchise to this. And, at the same time I had to run these shops and open the new ones, and I don't have partners. So it was really, really stressful at a point. It's all about how you manage it, I guess. So COVID did help a little bit with that, because then we had to close down, and it hasn't been fun, but it's been a little more calm. We haven't been really opening anything. We've been getting what we already had, that we opened so fast, so many at some point. There was a bit of a mess, so we've been organizing that and caring a little more about what we do have and about what we want to have, I guess. And at the same time, I'm taking life much easier. I'm not, I guess, that ambitious anymore with the company, because I realized health is also more important. And of course, it's a dream for me to have, like a Starbucks or like a McDonald's or whatever. But it's.
But is it worth it in the end? No?
If you know how to deal with it, it's worth it, I think. But is it worth it? It's a good question. It's not worth it if you lose your mind now.
Yeah, and your health, like you said, because this is a lot of stress.
They come hand in hand, right? So,
yeah.
So, you have to deal with stress, and it's nice, sometimes not to have a boss, I guess. And of course, and it's a fun thing to have. You're in your cafe, having coffee all day, but that's like what people see, right? But in the end, there's a lot of...
They don't see the back end.
Oh, the lawyers, the banks, the lawsuits, the taxes.
So what's the hardest lesson that you've had in business, or what advice would you give to someone who is starting a business and they think, oh yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to have my cafe. I'm going to walk around with my coffee. What advice would you give?
Well, I guess the most important would be you have to love what you do, I guess. And I know it's like a little bit cliche, but you know, you have to be, if you don't really like what you're doing, it's impossible. It's not worth it. Like you have to be very excited about it and you have to think positive, you know, tener esa ilusión, no? Like they say in Spanish. But I guess also take it easy, you know, like it's a lot of work. It's every single day because you don't turn off the phone on Sundays, on New Year's. There's always some Instagram or something to do or some complaints or something is burning down if it's not flooded. You know,
but you must have a good team as well.
You must have a good team. You must surround yourself with very good people that help you because alone you cannot do everything. You know, nobody is good at everything. So having a good team, actually, you just said that is probably the key, I'd say, to surround yourself with people that are as excited or almost as excited as you about this, that you bring them into the project with you somehow. And then they can, you know, when you have those bad days or when you are in Marbella and you're opening in Miami or in Madrid or whatever it is, that somebody can look after it like it's theirs, which is almost impossible, of course, but having a good team is very, very important.
Yeah, and you have to trust them, you know.
And you have to trust them, and you have to learn how to delegate, and you know, not everybody is like you, and you know, you do your things your way, and people have other ways, and then it's not perfect, but nothing is perfect. So I guess trusting your team, and you know, you have to control them also, because that's also, you know, a problem I've had. Like when I was, you know, doing very well, then I started opening another restaurant with another friends, and I started getting into all these other fantasies of mine and like businesses and stuff, and I kind of left Celi aside because it was like. And then that you know, I felt it, you know. So now I'm dedicating, you know, all my time to Celi and work-wise, and it's the only way.
But you're doing something else on the side. Are you doing some?
Not really. I mean, I'm helping a bit my family. My dad is with some projects, real estate here in Marbella and also Madrid. I mean, especially here, I'm developing something. It's involved also with maybe a tennis club and you know, and some villas, apartments, and stuff. So I am helping him with that, but I'm not opening different restaurants. I'm not
expanding.
I'm not, no, and we're not expanding Celi as of right now because we had to organize a lot. And I know COVID was like almost 2 years ago it's been done, but we're still recuperating from the hit. So ideally we need to expand because we have this central bakery, which I opened because I was going to have like 20 Celis. At some point I had 10 and now we have 6, but, so we need more shops. We need to work on the franchises, which we actually have one now, and to generate the volume appropriate for this big fabric that I have, you know.
But surely you have some goals that you see yourself. Where do you see yourself in like 10 years?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or you haven't thought about it yet?
No, I thought about it my whole life, really.
Yeah?
I mean, I had it clear, but then COVID hit, and these goals have changed a lot, you know. Yeah, my goals were obviously when I put up this huge central bakery and I was about to open in Kuwait, Dubai, all these places with this franchise, this and that.
Worldwide,
and you know, go to Australia and have a coffee in my Celicioso and nobody to recognize me and that kind of stuff, right? You know, that was like my goal. But like now, it's still my goal, but it's not like my ultimate goal. My goal is to have like something obviously that I enjoy, that doesn't have to be maybe the biggest company in the world. It doesn't have to be maybe so international. I mean, if it is better, and just have what I have, you know, top. Like when I had one Cedi, we were like number 1 in TripAdvisor and all this. And I was, you know, taking, you know, I was just there all day. And then we lost that a little bit and now we're trying to get that back. So I just want to get what we have in like perfect conditions and then hopefully before 10 years and then hopefully start to grow again. And, you know, with all the experience that I have now, you know, after living the 11 years running the company, right?
Exactly. But how do you innovate? Because now all these organic and gluten-free and whatever, vegan and stuff is so popular and there's new shops coming up everywhere. How do you innovate? Where do you get ideas to be, like you said, still at the top? Because everyone is coming up with new ideas. So where are you getting new ideas and how do you stay on top?
I think we're pretty creative in that way. We've always been, you know, the first ones gluten-free. We were the first ones also to do like a lot of vegan cakes, sugar-free cakes. Also, like we've been having like acai bowls for like 9-10 years when nobody had them in Spain. The ginger shots, I think, I'm not gonna say we invented them, but like we were, I think, the first place to ever have them that I know of.
So what's the next
sugar-free
What's
thing.
the next thing now? Because now
Well,
like everyone is copying
you never know.
all of that.
Yeah, everybody's copying, and it's crazy. You just have to be good at what you are. I think we tried also to cover a lot of areas. Like at some point, I wanted to be also completely sugar-free, completely vegan. And it's not really your thing. I mean, it is in the healthy trend, of course. But if somebody wants to go there and have a glass of wine, or if somebody wants to go there and have a piece of cake, we are a bakery, and of course, sugar is a very bad thing, but also is alcohol, also is a lot of things, pollution, and
but at least people have
cars.
the option, no?
But yeah, I want to have the option. So like, I'm a little bit focused on being completely crazy about vegan and raw vegan and sugar-free and stuff. Like, of course, it's very important, and the health thing is the most important thing for everybody. It should be. But also, enjoying things, and you realize a little bit after COVID also, like, that's also what shifted a bit. I was going completely crazy with packaging, this, that, and then you realize, oh, we did these straws that were so expensive, but they're not plastic, but they have to use a machine to dispose them that pollutes more than the plastic straws in the beginning. And you're like, oh my God, what an idiot, So like, obviously, I guess I was not well informed, but like, you try to balance it. I think the key is the balance.
Yeah, definitely.
And focus on what you're good at. And we're very good at gluten-free cakes. That's why everybody copied us with this and stuff. So like, we need to offer this and not forget that this is what we started, or who we were, who we want to be. And then of course, okay, let's have 10 options of sugar-free, for the vegan, or for the Djokovic that comes in, he's super healthy because of course he's a super athlete, or for whoever has this intolerance, if you have a friend now, he cannot eat wheat, like gluten, whatever, and then also corn and starch and levadura and this and that, and I'm like, oh, so we're gonna try to make a bread for him, but like, try to cover all the areas, but focus on your strengths. I think is important.
Yeah, definitely. What is Djokovic's favorite food in your?
It used to be the banana bread, actually.
Yeah, I love the banana bread.
He says it in the book. He dedicated one.
It's so good.
That was the first thing he really liked, and then we've had different faces with chia puddings, acai, and the raw vegan chocolate cake.
Well, everything is quite healthy, so you can eat
everything is quite healthy.
Really,
I mean, we do have fries, we have burger,
but you have very good ingredients.
Yeah, of course. So, and gluten-free is. I'm not going to get into the debate if it's healthy or not, but the flours usually are less processed, and I think they're a little bit healthier in general. Of course, if you pound it with sugar, then right. But
so how is your diet? How is your lifestyle? Are you a little bit health-free, or are you like?
I go through phases, to be honest.
Are you like summer will be like full of wine, and then winter we train and have juice?
Yeah, well, you never know. My lifestyle is pretty healthy now. That's why I like to be here in Marbella. Also, less stress, more sport, better weather. I play sports. I'd say every day, 5 days a week. I try now again to go back to the gym. I was very fit back in the day, and I want to get back to that a little bit because the winter also you get a little lazier, and I'm not doing like a vegan diet right now. Of course, I have a gluten-free diet. I did this vegan diet for a while, except I did sometimes a little, eggs and maybe honey, and I wasn't like radical, but
how do you feel?
I felt good also, but I also feel good eating steaks, to be honest, and it's something I really enjoy. So I eat my steaks, and I like to drink red wine, for example. So a couple of days a week I'll have a glass of wine or whatever, or a bottle. No.
I think everything in moderation is the key.
Exactly. You need to enjoy. It's a balance, like I said. So
and listening to your body, knowing your body, like your body doesn't want gluten. Maybe I found with myself that maybe vegan is not for everyone, and I just really listen to my body. If I'm craving eggs today, I'm gonna have an omelette.
Yeah, exactly. And if you feel
just
well,
having good quality.
In the end, it's how you feel. So.
No, and if you're eating steak, you're having the best steak. Not the one from.
Yeah, and it's also like trends. Now I'm hearing a lot like this only steak diet, which I have no idea about. And, some people that are pretty reliable that I actually follow, like this Jordan Peterson guy and whatever, like he has, I don't know if he has podcasts, but he's in a lot of podcasts. And he says it's like the healthiest thing ever. And it's the opposite of vegan. And
I don't know.
I'm not a doctor,
crazy.
But
I think everything extreme is a bit crazy.
Everything extreme is usually bad, I'd say.
Yeah. I think find a balance with everything and good quality produce, is the key.
This episode is brought to you by Besaya Beach and Tikitano by Besaya. Visit my website to find out more about these beautiful restaurants.
We got some company here. What are their names?
Wendy, she's a mom. She's 15, and Minnie. She's
Oh,
9 years old, I think.
you're so
She's a
cute.
daughter.
Yeah,
They're
they're
very
very
nice.
cute, very cute. And you have dog treats in Celicioso, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
super
They're not
cute.
vegan though,
Well,
and they're not gluten-free. But yeah, well, the treats are
but they look good.
gluten-free.
You still look healthy. You look
Yeah,
good.
they're happy enough in Marbella.
Yeah.
A lot of hairs though.
I wanted to ask, how has Marbella changed over the
Oh,
years since you came here
yeah.
when you were 1 year old, you said?
Yeah, since I can't even remember the first time. It's changed a lot, to be honest. I mean,
It was a proper village back then.
well,
Probably.
back then, yeah, like the winters were completely dead. It was crazy, you know. The summers obviously it was a vacational place, I'd say.
Mhm.
Since even a little bit before COVID, it's been changing a lot, shifting towards it's like a city, man. There's like traffic every day.
Yeah.
It's full of people. In the winter, you know, it's not. It's still seasonal because the summer is completely mad, of course. But there's a lot of life in the winter. You know, Puente Romano has done a great job also with. There's like 15,
Yeah.
20 restaurants here, and it's just everything around it is just growing so much. And then COVID, a lot of people, I think, you know, when they had the second house, maybe like Spanish people and a lot of Scandi people also here. And we've just stayed, you know, we just stayed here. It's
Yeah.
just it's better quality life.
But you
Just-
found a good place that you were based in Puente
Well,
Romano
yeah,
already.
Puente
I mean,
Romano is
I mean, it was always like a 5-star hotel, but still no one knew how big it's gonna get.
no.
you
When
know?
we even started with Celi, it was here. It was like 9 years ago, and I mean, it was amazing, but it was not like it is now.
Yeah,
No,
it's just over the years.
It's crazy now.
Daniel's done a good job.
He's done a very good job. I mean, hats
yeah,
off.
Yeah, hats off to him. But what do you think is the biggest misconception that people who maybe haven't been to Marbella, you know, think about Marbella?
Well, I guess maybe Puerto Banús, that kind of stuff, you know, like
Superficial.
yeah, like superficial and stuff, which there is a lot, of course, but there's a lot of it everywhere, you know, now with social media and everything. I mean, the fact that it's a very healthy place also with a lot of healthy people, if, you know, because you get the people that come on vacation, then of course, you know, I understand somebody comes here for 2-3 days, they want to get smashed or they want to go out or they want to party or whatever it is, you know, it makes sense and it's true. But the people that, you know, when we, you know, we live here, we're really here because we want a healthier life. That's one of the main reasons. And the climate helps, you know, there's so much golf, so much tennis, so much paddle, so much everything, I think. So,
Yeah.
and the good weather really helps.
Yeah.
You know, you have the water. I get in the water a lot, and even in the winter, and it feels amazing. You know, it's a very big part of my day. You know, like swimming. I mean, I don't swim, but I get in the cold water. You
Just
know,
have a dip.
have a dip. I do sports, and I go directly. Boom. That is priceless. You know?
Yeah, and that definitely keeps you fit and healthy.
Yeah.
How do you see Marbella as a family-friendly place?
I think it's a very family-friendly place.
Would you raise your family here?
That's a good question. I think it's very good for families. I think once the kids reach probably like a teenager kind of age, it's a little bit risky.
Yeah.
I'd say against Marbella in a way, like there's not a lot of normal people in the way that it's pretty much a, you know, high class a little bit place, you know, a lot of very expensive places. And of course you can go to the old town and to normal places, but compared to like Madrid, which is a great city, by the way, and more it's up and coming, you see less working people, you see less. So it's a little bit confusing at points. So maybe for a kid, or for somebody that's young, you know, they come here and they go a little bit crazy. It has its risks.
Yeah, but if you can make it here, you can make it through that time.
Once you make
then
it
you
here,
can make it anywhere, right?
Yeah,
I have kids, and I always think if they turn 12, I'm probably gonna move to Ronda.
Yeah.
And let them be in the
you want to keep them away from like all the luxury and that kind of life. And
there's
a lot of like rich kids and you know with these some strange families, but there's also a lot of this normal people, you know.
Yeah. You also can't hide that from them, you know.
You can hide it, in a way.
It's a tricky time
until they find it, but
they'll find it.
They
anyway.
have to be ready, you know. They will find it eventually.
Yeah.
But day to day to be exposed to it,
it's tricky.
Can pass the toll, yeah.
But what are your favorite places in Marbella when you have free time?
I'm
where do
pretty
you
bad
go?
because
you're always here.
I mean, I'm here a lot because I live here. My celli's here, and the tennis club is here. So those are the three things that I do, and and the water's here.
So you don't use your car?
I don't need. I use a bike actually. I have a smart car, but I love. I play golf also. So the Marbella Club it's in Menavis. I like to go there a lot and disconnect a bit. There's a few restaurants I like outside the hotel as well. Like Asador Guadalmina, a steak place that's pretty fun, and it's just different.
Yeah, you'll find more.
And also, I go to Madrid like weekly, every
so
2
you
weeks
still
now. So
go there.
I get out, yeah. But I don't see, being here, it's, and having the club, the gym, the tennis, which is my hobby, like my daily hobby, and my shop and my house here. Some days, most of the days, I don't really leave.
Convenient.
I can go to the bank and come back, or I can go to. I don't, coffees I have in Celi, and lunch and breakfast usually also at home. So
you don't need to move.
I don't need to move.
But that's the beauty of Marbella. It's like there's everything here, but if you want, you can have everything almost walking distance.
Everything. or like a 5-10 euro taxi.
Or an Uber, Bolt,
or Uber,
whatever.
Or drive.
Very cool. But anyway, you'll find more of Santi's favorite places in my blog, because I'm sure there is other ones. So you're not going to tell them all. So you'll find them here. And is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
Not much, guys.
Something about Marbella?
Come to Marbella. Visit Marbella. Stay in Marbella.
Yeah, it's a lovely place.
No, it is, and it's especially in the winter. I'd say if you can come out here in the winter. The winters here are different. Yeah,
or even like spring. For me, my favorite months are like May, June, September, October.
Yeah, September and October are my favorite actually. And I guess May and June also, it's just a little more stressful because I'm getting ready for the summer. But once the summer is over, mentally for me, like the whole work
is done.
It's like a little bit done in a way, like the whole stressful, the million people, whatever. So I really enjoy September, October.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much
for it's a pleasure.
For coming. And before I leave you, I have a little present from my brand.
This is your brand.
I hope it fits you. I mean, the hat will
I
fit
love
you.
it. I use $9.69.
Yeah, that's for the weekends.
Yeah. Oh wow, very cool.
This is
a little panda. What is this?
Yeah, little panda is my logo.
So
it's also organic cotton, trying to be sustainable fashion.
So I can eat it.
You can eat it. Gluten-free.
Sommer mood. Wow.
Yeah, so
beautiful.
I hope you
and black's my favorite color.
Love it. Yeah, anyway, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Cool.
This episode is brought to you by Sommer Mood, sustainable clothing that is comfy and chic. Visit the online shop sommermood.com.